is Choco Nouveau with our last opportunities until April, but the next is another one of the really hugely highly rated customer picks, the world's best fish oil. There's no other fish oil product like it. It's Andrew's Omega-3. It is on that Mount Rushmore of Andrew Lessman products that so many of us want and look for and search for.
Adam, are you suggesting, there have been lots of suggestions lately about Mount Rushmore. Are you suggesting that I go on Mount Rushmore now?
I would pay to see that, Andrew. I would like to see you up there. That would be amazing.
No, there are some truly great people up there. I don't qualify.
I know that many of your fans would disagree. But I tell you what definitely does qualify. It's what you've done to fish oil, because you took away all the negatives. There's no fishy aftertaste. There's no repeating on you, no fishy burps. This gets rid of all of that.
It is something that in the beginning, we were trying to process, going back 40 plus years, trying to process our fish oil to get rid of the fishy aftertaste, but we didn't want to process it and damage the natural characteristics of the oil. So leave it to Mother Nature to have the perfect solution for us. The way we eliminate the fishy aftertaste, we tested dozens and dozens and dozens of different extracts of spices, extracts of fruits. And we have a special extract from the rind of citrus fruit, from the rind of orange. And that extract doesn't just cover the fish oil. They completely neutralize one another. So again, if you have a natural problem you're facing, Mother Nature generally has a natural solution for you. And that's exactly what we have here. So we didn't have to process our omega-3 oils any further. They're highly concentrated. They deliver the proper forms, natural triglyceride form of omega-3 fats, higher levels of DHA than EPA, because your brain, your eye, your heart tell you you want higher levels of DHA than EPA, because that's how your body is made. Unfortunately, the commodity form that contract manufacturers use is higher levels of EPA than DHA. So that's the standard. So for us to make a product like this, we have to go to extraordinary lengths because the commodity standard is different. So everything we do, again, requires that we do it ourselves, or it's going to be like everyone else's ordinary commodity product. So our products, no fishy aftertaste, no stomach upset, no repeat, no ethyl esters, which is synthetic omega-3s, only natural triglyceride omega-3s, no contaminants or heavy metals. I've talked about that for decades, demanding that everyone do the level of testing and purification that we do. I think finally the industry is catching up to that. So we have always respected the importance of this ingredient, but it can only be important if it's delivered correctly. Another real problem with omega-3s, they're relatively fragile. So you have to make sure they're fresh, they're stable, they're protected, because otherwise they can't deliver the benefits. So again, nothing comes close to our Nuance multivitamin. The same absolutely goes for our Maximum Essential Omega-3. Nothing comes close. Again, another product that over the last 40 plus years has gone through a constant evolution, a constant improvement. My original product contained 400 milligrams per capsule, a little bit less, and it was in a much bigger capsule. Today, our capsule is significantly smaller, a full 500 per capsule, because that's the level your doctor typically recommends. If your doctor or cardiologist or psychiatrist recommends more, they'll recommend 1,000. So I wanted a product that was small, that was easy to swallow, that wouldn't repeat, that gave you your perfect 500 milligrams at one capsule and your perfect 1,000 milligrams at two. So it's your very, very easy choice.
Well, what's really exciting as well, after all these years, that we can stand here on what, is it March or April? April the 6th of 2025 and tell you, this is the lowest price ever on these larger sizes. Lowest pricing ever on these larger sizes, and we are proud of that. So there's a 30/90, 180, 360, or the special 720. That 720 count is only available when it's a today's special, and we benefit from the economies of scale. You certainly get more more added value. That's where the pricing would be, and that is where the pricing is today. As always, most people going for that 720. Andrew, it's no, look, you're saving more than you're spending. Again, better than to buy one, get one.
And again, unfortunately, omega-3s, we try to buy what we can domestically. Unfortunately, omega-3s come from outside the country. So unfortunately, they might be subject, we're not sure yet, they might be subject to tariffs and things like that.
Right.
As you know, over the decades, I've done my very best to insulate everyone from increases in cost. Most of my formulas cost less today than they did 30 or 40 years ago. When we look at omega-3s last year, I had mentioned that there was a very bad omega-3 harvest and that prices and costs would likely be going up. I wasn't sure, but likely be going up. Well, if anybody is comparing, our price was our best price ever last year and the year before. We are holding that price again this year. Excellent. So again, you're looking at, on our large size there, it's less than 20 cents a capsule for a full 500 milligrams per capsule. Again, the natural triglyceride form, typical product, is going to be in ethyl esters, which isn't as well absorbed, isn't as well tolerated, and shouldn't even be on the market, unfortunately, but it is. The only way to make a product, as I always say, there's only one best way to do everything. That is my goal with every product, is make it the best it could possibly be made. And once we've done that, I'm always still looking for a way to improve it. That's why my products constantly improve. And I think once you discover them, you get to experience how they constantly improve, that I leave no stone unturned in making the very best products of its kind. And when we talk about omega-3s, it's not a question, do we need them? Do we not need them? We need them. We can't make them. Right. Our brain is made of them, but our body lacks the ability to make EPA, DHA, alpha-linolenic acid. Are they available from our diet? A flat no. The American diet doesn't deliver the preformed EPA and DHA is the majority of your brain. Your brain is fat, 2/3 fat basically by weight, 2/3. And 98% of that fat is DHA. DHA is even more concentrated in the retina of your eye. DHA is more concentrated than EPA in your heart. And again, the commodity form is EPA first, DHA second. A special formula that respects your brain, your heart, and your eyes is DHA first. If you were making this yourself, it would be DHA first, EPA second. That's why it's that way, because I'm making it for me, I'm making it for my family, and that's exactly how I make it for you. The way it ought to be made if you're following your body's blueprint.
Andrew, just really fast, just so I understand and everybody at home, why, if that's the way it should be, why do other companies do it the other way around?
Well, the commodity form, when you go out into the marketplace, where the omega-3s are harvested and manufactured, first of all, they're turned into ethyl esters because they're easier to handle and manage. That's the synthetic form that you find in most omega-3 products. Some folks will convert them back into triglyceride, the natural form, which is great. But still, the standard result of the industrial commodity process is about 60+% EPA, 30-some-odd% DHA. Wow. We flip that around. We deliver more DHA than EPA. So again, it's a decision not made by a doctor, not made by a cardiologist, not made by an ophthalmologist or a psychiatrist, because I think if those folks were involved in that decision, looking at the anatomy of your eye, the composition of your eye, the composition of your brain, the composition of your heart, they would be choosing DHA, not EPA. Wow. And again, I think I might have a really fun chart here that might actually, it gives you a sense of the hierarchy of fatty acids here on this chart. So if you look at the pinnacle, the high point of this chart, that's DHA, that's Docosahexaenoic Acid. And if we look a little bit lower down, there's Docosapentaenoic Acid, there's EPA, Eicosapentaenoic Acid. You get both of those in my product. We actually also give you Stearidonic Acid, which is an omega-3 fatty acid that also supports the synthesis of EPA. So we really give you a wonderful, natural, comprehensive omega-3 product. But again, when you look at the typical products, they're giving you mostly that, mostly the EPA. This is the highest level, sort of the highest octane, the highest grade of omega-3 in our body, the DHA. That's what your brain is principally made of. That is what the retina of your eye is principally made of. So as long as we're taking the omega-3s because of their role in our brain, and especially as our brain ages, and the role in our eye. And I was just tonight reviewing research talking about the aging brain, talking about the aging eye, talking about the aging heart, and all of the various issues that time and aging pose us, and the difference that omega-3s can make in the aging process. The emphasis was placed on the importance of DHA. It's on the top of that chart, not because I emphasize it. It's on the top of the chart because it's at the top of the chemistry pathway, the biochemical pathway in your body. It's because it's on the top of that pathway that it's the most important part of my product. Unfortunately, it isn't the most important part of most products. They use EPA because it's cheaper, easier, and it's the commodity, industrial, typical, ordinary, standard product.
Rated virtually perfect from the great majority of reviews, over 4,100 5 stars, makes it one of HSN's biggest selling and most highly reviewed products ever. You can see we are 3,600 sold. We have about 6 minutes left. Still to come is Choco Nouveau, if you're just joining us late. Hi, everybody. We already did launch, of course, Andrew's all-new Nuance Max, the new look and feel of your favorite Essential One multivitamin, with so many of you choosing to grab that. If you want to add this, obviously, to your shopping cart, flexible payments, free shipping and handling. If you are looking to buy an Omega product, or maybe you've tried one in the past and you quickly gave up on it, you abandoned ship because you didn't like it. You didn't like the way it tasted, you didn't like the way it repeated on you. I would urge you to try this. Not everything is the same, and Andrew's done it distinctly differently. That's what so many of the reviewers talk about, that this doesn't have any of those negatives. Andrew, as I show out here, obviously your soft gel caps versus the others, obviously these other likely suspects are much bigger. Why are they also different colors versus yours, which is like a beautiful golden yellow?
Unfortunately, it's because of additives they either add to the shell of the capsule, or additives they add to the omega-3s themselves, or sometimes it's just the color of the omega-3 material they use. Wow. Our omega-3s, especially when you see them in a large bowl, I mean, it's this beautiful golden color. And that is, and we have, again, a 720 capsule supply. Again, a 720 capsule supply, that's not even 20 cents a day, because remember, you get a full 500 milligrams of omega-3 per capsule. So that is the beautiful natural color of the product. There's nothing else in there. So it's pretty remarkable how, when you do it right, it just looks better, it works better. It's a natural triglyceride form. Again, I have some charts here that I never really show, and I just want to show them really quickly. For those of us who care about the environment and the source that, the impact that overfishing and omega-3s could pose to our environment, our fish oils is sourced from remote, pristine, unpolluted waters. Our fish is obtained under stringent regulations and fishing guidelines, third-party certified, to make sure that they're only done properly. Our fish oil is obtained only twice a year and never during spawning breeding season. We don't want to interfere with the breeding of our fish. Our fish oil is only derived from third-party certified, sustainable, and renewable sources. Our fish source, despite this, it's outrageously affordable, is carefully extracted from the sea using special targeted nets, so we're not going to get other fish involved in the process. Our fish oil is created in special facilities with reduced water and energy consumption. Our fish oil's pure standards exceed all international regulatory requirements, not by a little, but by far. And again, this talks further about the purity of our omega-3 products. No PCBs, no dioxins, no heavy metals, no environmental contaminants. These products, they are the most perfect omega-3s. And again, the natural triglyceride form, typical products are ethyl esters, which are not as active, not as beneficial. When your body processes them, they liberate trace amounts of alcohol in your body. There's a product you see on TV often that's sourced from, I think, green-lipped mussels. It delivers minimal amounts of omega-3s. The claims they make, they talk about joint pain, arthritis pain. That is an absolute unabashed drug claim. I mean, that is illegal. That is deceptive advertising. You can't say that any omega-3 product, as much as omega-3s have important roles in your joints, you can't say they treat joint pain. You can't say they treat arthritis. Yet companies like that just continue to make those kinds of outrageous statements, which is almost embarrassing to me because I talk about my omega-3 and I would place it up against any company's omega-3 in terms of quality. But I sound a little bit meek and understated when I don't talk about it being useful for joint inflammation or joint pain. Inflammation is a symptom of disease or a health condition. So again, my products, hopefully you respect the fact that I talk about their scientific characteristics and I don't exaggerate medical claims because that's illegal. And unfortunately, our government doesn't have the resources to chase after all the folks that it seems on television, on the internet, are willing to lie about dietary supplements nowadays. I won't. I'll leave it to them to tell their stories. I'll just keep it simple and talk about the characteristics that make our products different to use and more enjoyable, beneficial to use.
Well, the facts say everything, and you can't argue with the facts. And that's why, again, so many of us come back every single year on this day to stock up on Andrew's amazing Omega product. We're running out of time. I'd love for you to order tonight based on what we're seeing. Incredible demand for, obviously, the brand new Nuance Max Essential 1 and now Andrew's Maximum Essential Omega-3. $13.90, $180, $360, or the $720. You may have heard Andrew say it, and I do want to repeat, these are the lowest prices ever in history at HSN for those larger sizes. The lowest pricing ever. So the opportunity today is bigger than it has ever been. That's where the pricing will be when the today's special is over. That's where it is today, saving more than you're spending. Andrew, really quickly, for anybody that's uncertain of how that works, the reason why we can discount so aggressively today is because we're going to sell so many today.
Well, when we reach the counter at the end of the day, we'll be talking about tens of millions of capsules. That gives us buying power when we source our raw materials. That gives us manufacturing efficiencies when we produce the products for you. And again, everything we make, we test when the materials come in. We reject materials all the time. We test after we're done making our products to make sure and validate exactly what we say on the label. But before we run along, I just wanted to do a few charts here and hopefully save some time for Choco Nuvo. Yeah. But just so everybody gets a sense, more than 33,000 papers have been published on the benefits of omega-3 fatty acids, including more than 6,000 meta-analyses and systematic reviews. There's no doubt we need them. We can't live without them. More than 4,000 human clinical trials have been published on the benefits of consuming omega-3 fatty acids. Our product, no fishy aftertaste, no fishy repeat, no stomach upset, no mercury, lead, or heavy metals, no PCBs, dioxins, or contaminants, no enormous capsules to swallow. All omega-3s, you can't make them in your body. They have to come from your diet or supplements. Unfortunately, the American diet doesn't deliver them in any kind of abundance. Without adequate omega-3 intake, deficiency or insufficiency occurs. That affects our brain, our heart, our eyes. Best results are only achieved when consumed daily. And also help support, again, and this is something we all track, our triglycerides, our blood pressure, our blood cholesterol, our blood sugar levels. Like CoQ10, omega-3s are one of those ingredients that helps to keep those very important numbers that we track, helps to support them in their normal range. Maybe a couple of reviews really fast. The best. I've been taking Andrew Lessman products for 20 years. My husband and I are physicians and cannot live without his product. This is an amazing vitamin, no smell at all, very easy to swallow, and so beneficial for anyone's health. I send a year's supply to my mom in Europe, France, all the time. She's a pharmacist and very picky. She has never been able to find such a great product as this omega-3. Well done, Andrew, as always. So here we go. 2 doctors send it to their pharmacist mom in Europe. It truly is one of a kind. We'll do one more review and then we'll run along to Choco Nuvo. Great product. I've been a fan since I began searching for additive-free supplements about 5 years ago. This product has a good EPA to DHA ratio, no fish burps, and doesn't cause any stomach upset. I take 2 per day. My doctor said to keep taking it. When you compare the clarity of these capsules to the stuff you'd find at the drugstore, there is such a difference. Great product. I'll read some more reviews tomorrow, but we have to run along.
We could spend a whole hour just reading reviews because they're always so compelling. I'll tell you what, though, some of the most compelling reviews you'll ever read are on Andrew's breakthrough